What's poppin', y'all? It's your boy Team Player, back again with another banger video. And in today's video, it's the Battle of the Radiant Collections. That's right, we're gonna play a little game spinning the wheel, and we're gonna see which collection comes out on top. As you can see right here, we've got the wheel ready to spin, and behind it we have the Radiant Collection card. On the left side you have the Radiant Collection from Legendary Treasures, and on the right side of the screen you're going to have the Radiant Collection from Pokemon Generations. And we're gonna put them to the test and see which one reigns supreme. Of course, both of these sets are extremely gorgeous. This is just a little game for fun. Some of the cards are gonna be put against each other, and they're going to be very, very difficult to choose a true winner. But we're going to give it our best go. And without further ado, let's spin the wheel for the first time. So how the rules of the challenge is going to go, I'm going to spin the wheel once for Legendary Treasures, and I'm going to spin the wheel once for Generations. Those two cards will be going against each other, and then I will choose a winner between the two, and the collection who wins gets the point for the round. And we will rinse repeat until we get through all the commons in the Radiant Collection, and then we'll do the full arts. It's going to be a lot of fun, so if you're excited for it, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button if you do enjoy it. Versus the Shroomish as our very first one. And these are both very, very gorgeous artworks. They really are not that similar, I would say, besides the pastel colors. But man, they both are very gorgeous. But I'm going to have to go ahead and give this point to the Torchic and Legendary Treasures. Two fire types, and this is a tough one to choose. These are both really, really nice artworks. The Charmander one does tell a story with the rest of its evolution line. The Growlithe sleeping so peacefully. They're both so eepy, but I'm gonna have to give this point to Charmander and Generations this time. Next up, we have the Minccino versus the Frostlass, and I don't think this one is particularly close here. I'm going to give this one to the Frostlass. The background is just immaculate. You got the rose petals dropping, or the cherry blossom petals, I probably should say, dropping in the background. The Frostlass looks immaculate here. The Minccino, it's a nice artwork. It's just not my favorite of the bunch. Point goes to Generations. Piplup versus Charizard, and again, Generations is getting pretty lucky on the matchup so far. The Piplup is a really, really nice artwork. Looks like maybe getting fed some shaved ice or something, but the Charizard, who's been with his faithful trainer since day one, protecting him from the snow, I have to go ahead and give the point to Generations once again. Ursaring versus the Gulpin, and man, oh man, this is exactly what I was talking about when we were going to have some tough decisions to make. And the Gulpin, you've got this little boy and his beloved Gulpin sharing a moment of balancing their forks on their lips, and then you've got the Ursaring carrying after probably its son or daughter, right? Oh man, also a little bit eepy, and I'm gonna have to give this one to the Ursaring, just barely. I mean, just barely squeaks out the victory here. That one's going to Legendary Treasures. Ralts versus Diancie, and man, these are two fairy types that are absolutely powerhouses, but I think I have to give the edge to the Diancie here with the floettes in the background. It's a nice touch. The Ralts with like the heart gems looks really, really nice as well, but I think it just got unlucky on the matchup, and we're gonna have to give the win to Diancie. This was an absolutely insane matchup. I can't even begin to start with why. You've got this beautiful, gorgeous Pikachu artwork, and then you've got on the right side the snow run, and what are they building? A snowman, and it is also a Pikachu. That is crazy. Not only that, I just saw it up here, top right corner. You've got the Pikachu who's like, what the heck is going on? I'm sorry, Legendary Treasures, but we have got to give the point to Snow Runt here. I was not expecting that to get the win, but looking at the card afterwards, I think deservedly so. Snivy versus Floette, and it does get a little bit difficult here. I think the Floette is a very nice one. I like the background with the rainbow effect and everything like that, but I really like the Snivy card. The pose of it is really nice. I like the vines in the background. I think it's really elegant the way that it was done, even though it's very simple. Snivy looking cutting as ever. I'm going to give the point to Snivy here. Eevee versus Esper, and I don't think this one is particularly close. And again, we actually have two very similar artworks. You have a girl here taking care of her Eevee, and also it looks to be, I mean, it could be a boy, but looks to be a girl, also maybe dressing up their Esper for maybe a Pokemon contest or something along those lines. I do love the flavor of the card here, but I think the Eevee artwork is just a nicer art style. There's something about it that I just really do like. The Esper card, of course, is awesome as well, but I'm going to give the point to Eevee here. Our next matchup is Superior versus Slurpuff, and wow, these are both pretty tough for me. The one thing I will say about Generations versus Legendary Treasures is that the artwork seemed to have more Pokemon in them in Generations versus Legendary Treasures, but the Legendary Treasures does have a very, very nice art style, and this one is tough. I think I'm going to give it to Slurpuff just because the cream on top of the little pancakes or crepes is a Swirlix. I have to give the flavor of the card the point there. In the next matchup, we've got Teddiursa versus Wally, and this is where Generations having a lot more cards in its Radiant collection is going to be a detriment to it. Teddiursa versus just the Wally trainer supporter is going to be a win for Legendary Treasures. Look at that card. They are collecting sap, or they're collecting honey. We're going to say it's honey. And this Teddiursa is obviously eating the honey while his boys here in the back are collecting some more for dinner, and I really love this card. We're going to give the point to Legendary Treasures. Cinccino versus Charmeleon, and again, I think I have to give the point here to Generations. The Charmander Evolution line cards in Generations are a cut above. I would actually put them in tier S plus for sure. The storytelling aspect of the three cards is just something else, and I don't think the Cinccino really could stand up to it, even though it is an awesome card in its own right. We're actually going to be revisiting these Charmander, Charmeleon, and Charizard cards at a later date. I'll leave the topic of the video maybe up in the air. Maybe you can take a guess, but that one's coming soon. One of my absolute favorite trainers, Elisa, or Alessa, not actually sure which one it is. How can you say favorite and you don't even know how to pronounce it? Is beyond me. But it is versus the Wobbuffet, and it is a female Wobbuffet. And this one, Again, I'm giving the point straight to Legendary Treasures. The trainer, I was worried probably wasn't going to be able to get a W here. It does. The Wobbuffet card is an interesting one. Honestly, not one of my favorites from Generations. I'd put that one in a bottom tier for me. Elisa gets the W. And we are in our final 5 spots here for the common slots. The rest, the other 5 or 6 from Generations will just not count towards the total at the end. Of course, we'll still review them. Take a look. I don't know how we keep doing it, but we've got 2 cards here that, again, are striking very similar vibes for me. This is actually kind of crazy. If you look in the background of this card, of the Purloin, you've got these little star symbols here, right? And actually down here in the Jirachi, you've got something that is very, very similar. These cards, to me, are screaming the exact same vibes. I really do love the background on the Purloin. You get that special border, that special background, I should say. In the background of the Jirachi artwork, you get this nice heart. This is actually so tough. I'm going to give the point to Jirachi, though. Generations, oh man, might just eat this thing out. Stunfisk versus the Fletchling, and Stunfisk is blowing a little kiss. Probably the cutest Stunfisk I've ever seen, that's for sure. But the right side, Generations coming with a heavy hitter, the Fletchling, screaming Disney. I don't know exactly what I'm thinking of, but I can remember almost this exact scene in like a Disney movie with the birds bringing the flowers in and the ribbons. The Fletchling wins this. Back-to-back W's for Generations. Legendary Treasures, we're gonna need you to hit harder when it comes to those full art cards coming up here soon. 2 colorless cards, the Audino versus the Altaria. You got an Audino that's obviously a part of the Pokemon Center. It's got its little hat over there on the ground, maybe taking a break, maybe a little bit lazy. Ooh, I don't know about that one. Altaria, on the other hand, on the right side, you got the Dedenne and the Sylveon, an Evolution in the background. I mean, what is going on? Generations is coming through at the end with maybe a clean sweep of the commons. Altaria is going to take this W and give Generations 3 points in a row. That's absolutely insane. Final 2 for Legendary Treasures. What's it going to be? It's going to be the Kirlia up first versus the Chikorita. Kirlia versus Chikorita. And I hate to say it, but I believe Generations is just going to come through here and sweep the end. The Chikorita getting chased by the Pikachu down the stairs. I'm not sure who was like, I'm going to put them having the time of their life in the house, but I'm glad they did it. The Chikorita definitely beats out the Kirlia, who's dancing in between the gems. A nice card on its own, but I think Generations is starting to show its true colors, and that these artworks are just, they put a crazy amount of attention to detail in these artworks. Generations, 4 in a row. What are you going to do about it, Legendary Treasures? Irvine versus Flabebe, and I actually really love the Flabebe artwork here. I don't know why it's so grumpy or sad. It looks more mad. It looks grumpy. It's like, why are you looking at me or something? The Servine is really, really nice as well. The Snivy, I believe, did get the W. I can't remember if the Superior did. I don't think I can give it to the Servine. Even though they both don't have a ton going on, I think the Flape's emotion is really coming through the card, and I'm going to give the point for a 5th time in a row to Generations, and I'm hoping that Legendary Treasures can come through and kill it on the full arts. I'm just now realizing we actually missed one. There's still the Gardevoir, so there's still hope. This Gardevoir is a beautiful one. Gardevoir. Yeah, okay. We needed an opponent. Let's see. Gardevoir versus the Meowstic. And I really do like the Meowstic here. Oh my goodness. You've got the male and the female. They're right by the fire. It's adorable. They're lounging. Oh man, 6 in a row for generations. Or do we go with the Gardevoir? The pose of the Gardevoir is very nice. The Curlia and the Ralts, I don't think we're able to get it done. The Gardevoir is the best of the three. The pose is really doing it for me. But I think Generations wins. I can't in my right mind give it to the Gardevoir when you've got an artwork like this from Generations. Generations 6 in a row, a clean sweep to end it off. My goodness. These were the 4 cards from Generations that we didn't go over. I believe I might have missed a few. I was botching this video left and right, I gotta say. But these all are beautiful in their own rights, and I think besides the Raichu and Yveltal, probably would have lost some of those matchups. So I think they did get pretty lucky on the spins, and we're gonna go ahead and move on. Meloetta EX versus Sylveon EX, and these are both very impressive in their own rights. They're both popping out of the card. You got the Meloetta and the Moon. You got the Sylveon and the Eevee. And I don't think the community would let me live it down if Sylveon didn't win this. Generations is getting a 7th win in a row. This is an absolute titan of a matchup. We have on the left side from Legendary Treasures probably one of the most iconic cards I can think of, the Reshiram. And on the right side of the screen we've got the Gardevoir EX. All 3 of them, and they are very, very... This is so unfair to me. It's unfair to me for me to have to pick a winner. Oh man. I really do love the Reshiram. The Gardevoir card is probably a fan favorite. I'm a big fan of it as well. This Reshiram card, one of my friends has pulled it, and so I have a physical attachment to this card for some reason. It is so sick too. I'm giving it to Reshiram. The points going to Legendary Treasures. We've had enough of the Generations absolute landslide. I'm giving this point to Reshiram. I think it is well deserved. That Reshiram card is super sweet. One of the first full arts we really ever got. And I think that I have to give it its flowers. Shaman versus Pikachu, and again, these are 2 really, really nice cards. We do not get very nice Shaman cards too often. This is one of the best, if not the best, that they've done. Pikachu, on the other hand, has gotten many, many great artworks, but again, I think this is probably one of them as well. And unfortunately for Shaman, I'm going to give the point to the Pikachu, and Generations is going to continue its stomp. These are way more difficult than I ever anticipated. The Mew is probably my favorite card from Legendary Treasures. The Gardevoir, on the other hand here, is probably my favorite card from Generations. As a huge fan of, first of all, Mega Gardevoir, second of all, Shiny Gardevoir, third of all, Shiny Mega Gardevoir, which I've hatched in X and Y. This pains me. I was never anticipating the matchups that I was going to have to pick between. Double Mega Gardevoir. I'm giving it to the Mega Gardevoir here, against my better judgment, against every being of me wanting to give this to the Mew, because Generations has already gotten so many wins. I can't lie and say that the Mega Gardevoir is not one that I absolutely prefer. Our last two, what are we going to see first? Emolga versus Sylveon EX here. I really don't think Emolga could have won this matchup. I'm not sure what card from Legendary Treasures could have won this matchup. This is probably, when I think of Sylveon collectors and I think of Sylveon cards, this is the number one that comes to mind. Maybe nowadays the Evolving Skies ones carry a little bit of weight, but this one was the original, like OG, like this was the Sylveon card you needed in your collection. The point goes to generations. I feel bad. I really went into this thinking Legendary Treasures had a big chance of winning this, and maybe I was sadly mistaken, or maybe I was overestimating its abilities. Final matchup, the Meloetta EX, a really nice one. But again, I do not think this Meloetta could have won this matchup. It's not it. The original trio, one of the coolest full art Pokemon cards out there at all. I think this would have been number one if this was a top 10 or whatever, and this card absolutely slaps. It goes hard. Generations is going to take another point here, and actually Legendary Treasures is only going to get 1 point in like the past 12 rounds or something like that. Absolutely insane stuff. But that is going to be it from me, y'all. I hope you had a little bit of fun playing this game with me. I plan on doing a lot more weird game videos like this where we do tier lists / wheel picks. I thought it was a lot of fun, and if you thought so too, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button. And if you're new here, I would certainly appreciate the subscription. We're on our way to 650, around 628 right now. I'll catch y'all in the next one on Saturday. Take care.